and all that good stuff. So for those who don't know me, my name is Alexis, but I also go by Peace, Breathe, and Be. And I am a certified spiritual life coach, and I am also well versed in money and abundance wellness. So today, we're going to get into another lesson. Today we're going to be talking about how to heal your relationship with money. Because let's be honest, we all got some type of tumultuous relationship when it comes to income, money, and our finances. So let's get into it today. So let's go. So one thing that I had to address when I started going down the whole rabbit hole of money, finances, and what wounds were and what different terms around finances were, because I was like, what does this even mean? Money wounds and avoidance wounds, and I have no idea. So once I started to really dive deep in that and study the psychology behind it, I was like, okay, wow, I kind of fit in some of these categories, especially different sectors in my life and different stages in my life. I fit in different sectors of what you would call money wounds. But the first thing that I had to do when it came to healing my relationship with money is I had to do the WWH. What's that? It is the what, all right, so when, where, how. This helped me get to the root of why I thought about money or had the relationship with money the way that I did. And of course, this all started during childhood. That's what most people experience, is. That's how your money wounds start. So I had to ask myself, when, where, and how did this happen? And once you figure stuff like that out, it helps you get to the root of where this originated. Because I feel like that's really important, So when I got here, I was like, okay, well, when did this happen? Where did it happen, and how? So I'm not gonna get in y'all business. That's between y'all. So when y'all do this formula, that's for y'all to decide. So whenever you decide this, you're getting to what we call the root issue. The root issue. Okay, so the root issue. So the root issue is what causes the effect of how you process things. So let's just say you have a parent. We're gonna get to the win. Let's just say you have a parent who hoards money. If you go into the store, you know for a fact that if your mom or your dad got a tight grocery list and they tell you don't go in that store, don't you look at that, don't you touch it, nothing, we ain't getting nothing. We going in here for what we came in here for. We ain't got no money to be spending on nothing else. So this happened with your parent. That's when it happened. It would happen whenever you went out to the store or when you asked for something. Well, mom or dad, can I get this toy? No, we don't have enough money for that. No. Oh, okay. So where it really impacts us as children, it's like, okay, when I was at this space and time in my life as a child, I learned that, I couldn't ask for stuff. So it happens in that sector of your early development as a child. So that's when you're able to like process stuff. I think they said between the ages of like 7 to 8 to like all the way through 12. That's when you're really soaking in like a lot of like information. They call it like baby sponge. I think baby sponge effect or something like that. But when you're able to really sit back and say like, okay, this is when and where it happened. Now, how does this affect me today? So let's fast forward now into your adulthood. Let's just say you have your own place and your car, or whatever financial responsibilities that are attached to you. How does my upbringing and my parents' relationship around money, what did that teach me? It taught me that I have to budget very tightly. And sometimes this is how it can affect you, because things have two ways that they can affect you. You have the positive and the negative. Maybe sometimes, like with your parents being on a tight budget, they taught you like, hey, it's not necessary to splurge. Like if you only have this amount, get the necessities of what you need when you go into the store. Don't splurge on anything extra if you really don't have the means to. That's a positive of it. And then the second part, which can be a little bit of a negative, sometimes when we have enough or more than enough to exceed that, we could still hoard the money because we're afraid. We're so afraid, like, okay, well, if I buy this thing outside of my bracket, or not even outside of your bracket, but you feel like, okay, well, I'm making more, I have enough, but now what if you start going into the what if, like, oh, what if something happens? Like, it goes back into the video I was talking about with the whole coin jar things. Like, that's how I was brought up. Like, you always want to keep some coin jars just in case something happens, just in case you may have to break into that mad money, that coin jar. That's what my mom call it, mad money. You may have to break into that mad money of that coin jar and get you some emergency funds. So yeah. So now we're going into the whole information of processing. So you process like, hey, this is how my parents did it, so you're gonna mimic that. You're gonna say, okay, well, I'm getting into the when, the where, and the how, the WWH, the root issue of the thing. So let me try to process this information. So now that you've processed it between that age gap that you have, now you're going into adulthood. And you're trying to relearn how to have a healthy relationship with money. All right, so now that we're at this space, we are going from here to here to here. So this brings back so many memories. Because I remember just struggling, child. And I'm pretty sure maybe a lot of us have been there. I don't want to say everybody because that's not everybody's story, but a lot of us have been in the situation of like, ooh, should I pay my phone bill this month, or should I skip this bill this month, or should I skip, or let me call this company and see if I can do an extension. Like, a lot of us have been there, especially with the economy the way that it is now. Like, that's more, than understandable. So when you were in this whole process of trying to have a healthy relationship with money, you are doing your best to stay positive. Let me just say that. So once you get into this stage here, you start to learn other information. Like I was saying before, you find what kind of womb you step into. But also, before I get into that, let me tell y'all this. And I thought about this very deeply. Think about it. our parents are not the only one that teaches us about like money and financial matters. Society also does the same thing. They do. So you know how you have three sectors of like where you fall financially? You have rich, you have poor, and you have middle class. That's what we were taught growing up. Your family either falls in rich, poor, or middle class. There was no kind of in between. It's like, listen, this is where y'all fall. You're either one of the three. So you had society told you that you were either rich, poor, or middle class. So you have rich, poor, and middle class, and that's where we are taught like, okay, this is, if we're this, we're okay. If we're this, we're not okay. If we're this, we're getting by. That's how society has trained all of us to think, when it comes to like how we fit into the world by what's in our bank account or what's not in our bank account. So getting into this whole sector of, I call it, it's classism. Classism. So this is basically just classism. You fall in one of these classes. So now that we went over the three sectors of classism, now we're about to get into my favorite part, the money wounds. A few of the money wounds that you can look up, you can Google these. So, like I said before, a lot of these I fell into the sector of, I was like, okay, dang, I can resonate with these. I have acted out or done most of these. Now with the scarcity wound, a lot of us, are in this particular place of where we are afraid to spend, especially in this time with gas is like $6 or more. Or, it's the fear if you're never gonna have enough, like especially in one of those cases of like, if you're one of those people like, okay, you like to plan for the future, you're like, what if something happens? So you can definitely probably resonate with this one. Now, the avoidance wound, I'm gonna get on this side, y'all. Now, the avoidance wound. So you may avoid financial matters or responsibilities around money. I have came in contact with a lot of people like this. They're like, well, can you keep my wallet because I don't want to go into this store and like spend, or they avoid the responsibility of them having that weight on them of like the financial responsibility or making a choice around finances. They have to have someone to make the financial choices for them, like, oh, we need to buy this or purchase this, or this is something that we need going forward, or we have to budget. They leave stuff like that to other people. The unworthiness wound. This is basically you not believing you're worthy of more. You want more money, but you don't think that you're worthy of it. Because I hear a lot of people talk, a certain way and say like, oh, well, I want $1 million, but I know that's not gonna happen. It's not that they innately believe that it can't happen, but they feel like they don't deserve it. They can tell you like, oh, I know I do deserve it. No, because if you knew you deserve it, you wouldn't be saying stuff like that. Next, we have the shame wound. So the shame wound is feeling guilty for wanting more or having more. I see this a lot in churches. If you have somebody that's in like the church community who's more so like well off, or they're financially well, I see a lot of people put pressure on them to give more, to donate more, or they try to put the financial responsibility on like, hey, we're having this event and we need donors, or we need people to help pay for such and such. Maybe Sister Jones, Brother Jones, y'all can come on and help out. Y'all got them big old wallets and y'all, you know, I've seen stuff like that in churches. So listen, so this is what I want y'all to do for homework. I want y'all to, and yes, y'all got homework. I want y'all to rewrite your money story. Okay? Rewrite your money story. Well, Alexis, how does that look? I'm glad you asked. So on my Beacon store, I do have a script. I have a manifestation script that you can buy on my Beacon store. It's down in the description below. So if you want to go on there and buy some stuff and buy my manifestation script, so you will go on there and it tells you how to have a conversation with money, how to call money in. Because a lot of people are afraid to call money in. They're afraid to talk to money like it's an actual person. So what I want you to do is when you write down, you know, anything, or you can do this with voice recording, you would speak to yourself in the future tense version of yourself. You would say like, you know, I have this job, or I have made this amount of money by doing this type of work or creating content, or whatever you want to envision, like, you know, how you're generating that wealth. So you would really write yourself how you want your life to be. That's how you're gonna rewrite your money story. So that is gonna be all for today, y'all. And I love y'all so much, and I am so happy that you tuned in to watch my video. I will see y'all on the next upload. Bye.
High volume.
Am I really there?